Okay, so at this point we've changed our location so we can talk about joining the bindings. You all have joined your bindings if you put quilts or bindings on quilts before, and there's a bunch of different ways to do this. When we look at this fabric, I've given myself a little bit of a tail. I've ripped off some here, I've ripped off some here, so we've got enough fabric to join. But I want to talk about a couple different ways to join, because you may have a way that works perfectly for you, or you may be struggling with this. In the past, I was taught to have a little bit of a hang here, a little bit of a hang here. This part that hangs over should be the same width as this part that hangs over, and then you would use your regular foot and stitch down the middle from point to point. Our stitch in the ditch foot, because it doesn't have an edge, or it has an edge here, I can't stitch down the middle with this foot. So I don't use this foot. You would use your regular foot of your sewing machine to do that. You can do the traditional method that you've used before. You've got a bunch of different options out there. The one method that I really like to use now is using this tool. This is not from us. This is from a company called TQM Products. That's their website, www.tqmproducts.com. It's called the binding tool. It's $8 to $10, so that's not a whole lot of money for something that is going to give you perfect bindings every single time, fast and easy. So again, the goal is fast, easy, perfect, beautiful. If you use this tool, there's a great video on YouTube. We'll have a link on the website so you can see, or on the video so you can see, plus it's in the written directions too. What I like about it is you'll peel this off. The directions are right there on the ruler for you. The problem with this is, where did I put it? That's the only issue that you'll have with this tool, is where did you put it? I'm not going to use that today just because you may not have that tool. So instead of doing this, I'm going to show you a cheater method, and I'm not actually going to do it, but I'll get you started with it. This is where I finished here. I sewed here and I mitered the corner here. So we're going in this direction here, 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 here. So we started over here, we're finishing up over here. When I join my binding fabric, if you're going to do the cheater method that I did in my other videos, if you've seen these products and you've known me for a while, I've talked about the cheater method. The cheater method involves a peel-off tape, a permanent glue, 007 bonding powder, one of those things. But the idea is I need to go in the direction that it's flowing with the foot, flowing with the zip bind tool. So what I mean by that is when I take this piece here and I'm going to fold my fabric back, I need to fold this piece first, not this piece first. So you can fold either way. You can go this way, you can go this way. Either way, what I want to do is give myself a crease here. And I've opened this up enough so that I can kind of give this a finger press. I'm going to have to move this a bit. And you can use your sew mate or give this a finger press. And what we'll do is go in and trim off this excess. When we trim that off, what that's going to do is give us a finished edge. Now this is a cheater method. This cheater method we're not going to do on nice projects and all of those things that you would be entering into quilt shows. You take a little bit more time to cut that off nicely, but finger press that. You give yourself a 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, whatever. Put the tape, put the glue, put whatever it is right inside of here, and then give that a good press down so that that piece is folded down. This piece is going to tuck inside of here. You don't want to have trimmed this piece first. I've trimmed this just to give us a little bit of time that we don't have to show on the video. I trimmed this a little bit, and this needs to be folded in the opposite direction. So if I fold this way, you're going to see this is not going to catch inside of there. I need to go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to fold this way. Give this a good little press here, and I really need a little bit more binding room to do this, but you get the idea. I would trim all this excess off. I don't need to leave a folded edge here because that's going to tuck inside of here. And when that tucks inside of here, what we're going to do before that actually goes in is we'll put, again, more tape, more glue, whatever it is you're going to be using here right on top of here. So when this goes inside and we bring this over, you'd finger press that down. Take the time to line those edges up, trim them up good, and then when we go to the sewing machine we can stitch that right down, and we'll pick up from there. All right, so at this point I've done my cheater method where I've tucked that inside. I put a little bit of the peel off tape, permanent glue. What I'd again love you to do is sew that by machine using the binding tool or whatever method that works for you. I've done this cheater method just for example today. So I've got my foot set. My fabric is right next to the edge of the foot. I'm using a scant 3/8 inch seam allowance just like I was before, and now I'm going to sew this down with the foot. And I stopped to where I've joined, I'd shorten my stitch length, lock that in place. I would have started with the shortened stitch length as well. So now we're at the point where we're ready to go to the sewing machine to be able to stitch in the ditch.